this past week, I stumbled on something very interesting on TikTok that I just never really expected. The van lifers are fighting.
Van life influencer culture is full of shit. They're either full of shit or they have a trust fund.
I'm not full of shit and I don't have a trust fund.
I did everything right. I signed up to all the websites. I applied to hundreds of jobs. I did everything right, and now I'm homeless.
But some of you aren't cut out to eat PB&Js every day and travel with a roommate.
It's these kind of videos that really give van lifers and nomads a bad name.
Here's the thing. If you've never seen these videos before, let me give you just a little demonstration of kind of what this is like. So van lifers are people that basically they have this, cheap little van that they've converted with the bed. They're traveling to all of these luxury locations. It's relaxing, it's beautiful, it's carefree, it's everything that you need, it's just so simple and it's so nice. The entire industry of this is glamorizing the simple, happy life. These people are always posting their converted vans that they've put a lot of work. I mean, look, the tiny houses were a really big trend for a while. I still like the thought of a tiny house. Let's just take a look at how big van lifers talk about what they do.
Let's talk about why van life sucks. First of all, everywhere you go, you're surrounded by these awful views. Like, who even wants to look at that? Then, you're hungry? Well, you have to walk 2 steps into your kitchen to get a snack. How inconvenient. Don't even get me started on groceries. If this was a real house, they wouldn't go straight from the cart to the fridge. We really miss picking them up and putting them down 5 times before they make it there. And that's not even the worst part. We have to take our child with us everywhere we go.
They're sarcastically saying van life is so horrible, it's terrible, blah, 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 blah. But they're really glamorizing it in a way. Here's another one.
This is what it's like to live out of a van.
All right, look, that's a nice van. That looks nice. Real quick question. Have any of you guys ever stayed in a tiny house Airbnb? I have twice. And my thought the entire time I was there was, wow, I couldn't live like this. But when you see it in pictures, you guys know when you see a little mini version of something, like when somebody's cooking the little tiny eggs and bacon. I don't know why, but little miniature versions of things are so cute. But when you really get into them, I mean, you really got to decide if it's for you. This is his cozy van life morning. Starts his little stove up. Just a nice pot of tea, coffee, maybe a little. Oh, are we? Please, no. Stop! No! There is nothing wrong with playing guitar. And there's nothing wrong with waking up in the morning and playing guitar. But when you do it for a fucking van life video. While I make my coffee. Life is so easy, right here in my tiny van. And you could do this too, with just, I don't know, $50,000. So that's another thing too. They pitch this as an easy way of living. A lot of them say it's carefree, it's simple, it's nice, it's wonderful. To be honest, the van life lifestyle, it was kind of being sold to me too. It looks cozy and it looks cool. I was a consumer of this. I don't have anything against van life per se, but it's let's be realistic about it. I think that this type of lifestyle can really only be done for 1 to 5 years, depending on who you are. And the people that make it past 5 years, more power to you. But what they're essentially doing is selling this lifestyle to people that are in bad situations that dream of escaping their bad situation. They're not really always talking about the problems in these massive viral videos. And I don't know, maybe it's because the glamorized ones are the only ones that get viral, where they're looking for a bathroom twice a day, or you're not able to shower for 3 or 4 days, and maybe you get depressed and now your van is messy and you're essentially baking in your van for 3 or 4 days. So I found this video from this girl who basically says that she got sold the van life lifestyle, and this is what happened to her.
Welcome to a realistic day in the life of someone who decided to be a nomad, and now I'm homeless. I was a little embarrassed to film this video, but I want to be completely honest to anyone that was thinking of doing this lifestyle. I did everything right. I signed up to all the websites. I applied to hundreds of jobs. I did everything right, and somehow I still failed. I don't know what I'm going to do, and I don't know how to get out of this. I'm currently getting ready right now to go to a gig that I was later sent home for because they were overstaffed. I hope people can stop glorifying the nomadic lifestyle because it's not as easy as you think. I've stayed in Airbnbs, I've stayed in hotels, I've done it all. I'm now currently living in a van doing van life, and I regret it so much. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I gotta keep going.
Let's look at this one.
The life of a woman who decided to be a nomad, and it backfired, and now I'm homeless. I finally had my orientation for Upshift after being on a wait list for 2 months. I'm so glad I finally was able to get that taken care of. Then I head over to clean up
this is why this is like actually legitimately a problem. These people are being sold that this is a type of lifestyle that they can live forever. But honestly, when they sell all of their possessions and buy this $5,000 or $10,000 van and then spend thousands of dollars converting it, and now let's say there's a break. Oh my God, having your car broke down is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Being stranded on the side of the road and not knowing what to do is a nightmare. Being stranded and not having the money to fix your vehicle, it's horrible. Now imagine you're living out of your vehicle and the mechanic says it's gonna take 2 days to fix. You can't stay in the van anymore, and now you have to stay at a hostel for 2 weeks, and you can't afford it. And I don't think that these realities are sold to the people that are imagining getting away from their difficult lifestyle.
my storage unit with the remainder of the things that I have left. I went and had some lunch. And yeah, I picked up a shift.
Her hair looks
good.
good.
Super excited. I was bartending, but no one came in. Absolutely no one came in. So I was back at square one. I was excited to get out of the van, and my friend was going to let me stay with her, but sadly she did not answer the phone. So I went back to my van, and my air mattress was flat, so I sat there and pumped this thing old school style. I will go more into my van life story because it's not a typical van life.
Oh my God. So here's another video. This is where it starts to get like wild, because people started speaking out against van life.
So I live on the road in a Jeep. My husband and I, we left 2 months ago. And I just have to say something that I've realized in the last 2 months, which is that van life influencer culture is full of shit. Well, they're either full of shit or they have a trust fund. One of the two. Because you cannot afford to camp overlooking Big Sur every evening and going on all these excursions and traveling all of these places if you do not have a shit ton of money. All right, we're doing this to save money, to have an adventure, but also put a lot of money in the bank and not pay rent and all of these things. And it's possible, it's doable, but it is not doable in the way that van life people are telling you. We sleep in Walmart and Cabela's parking lots. I eat 85-cent tuna for dinner. Okay?
Yeah, y'all saw that man playing his guitar and he was making coffee. What did he eat? What food did he eat? And imagine cleanup in that little space. Okay, so she comes out and says this: the van life influencers are lying to you. And this is what I mean. I really do think for like 1 to 5 years, this could be viable, but maybe it's you're working and saving up a lot of money and then eventually buying a plot of land, or maybe building up a tiny home while you're living out of your van. But to live in your van for 20 years, it's like not everybody can handle that. And they're selling this lifestyle on a mass scale. This lady chimed in who lives in her van.
Hi there. Van life influencer here, and
She said, "What's up,
I'm not
bitch?"
full of shit, and I don't have a trust fund.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to be as nice as possible with this, but it's these kind of videos that really give van lifers and nomads a bad name.
Okay.
I've been on the road a year next month. I built my van myself, including the cost of the van was $5,000, and I have not had over
Wait, she's in a car.
$500 in my bank account for the entire year, and I have stayed in some of the most beautiful places that you have ever seen for free. I've only paid for camping one time, which was $15 when I broke down, and I've only stayed in a Walmart parking lot one time, which was out of necessity. So my main goal as an influencer is to come on here and always share the truth about van life, and to let people know that you don't have to stay in a Walmart parking lot. If that's where you're staying, then that's where you choose to stay. But there's tons of free options out here. So the only thing full of shit is the content of your video.
I think another thing people don't realize is when you don't have a firm system in place of where you're gonna shower, where you're gonna use the bathroom, where you're gonna sleep at night, where you're gonna camp out, when you're traveling and planning that day by day, it actually takes a lot of brain power. And if you're so focused on that survival aspect and figuring out where you're gonna go, it's really hard to grow a business or to just keep up with your job day to day. Now, I think that there are some van life people that have a system and really have it together. But my point is that this lifestyle is really being sold to a lot of people that are in bad situations. And then they sell all their stuff and they get into it And it's rough. It can be really rough. Here's another person that chimed in.
Van life influencer culture is full of shit.
Wrong. This is a huge misunderstanding. I think I know what I'm talking about. This is my first bus. Second bus. Third bus, you get the point.
Is it because they broke down?
It comes down to how you spend your money. In my first 4 months on the road, I only spent $1,200. But some of you aren't cut out to eat PB&Js every day and travel with a roommate. Get a national park pass, but never sleep in the park. Sleep at Walmart or on the side of a road. And wake up early so you don't get kicked out. You'll thank me later.
I don't know if I'm taking the side of the ex-van lifers more because I feel so bad for them, or because the active van lifers are so aggressive. Wrong, bitch! Get a national park pass, 24/7 life fitness, get to the gym every day, shit in a bucket, and let's fucking keep it riding. You're not cut out to eat this peanut butter jelly sandwich every day. Let's take a look at one other video that I found pretty interesting. Some of you might remember a couple of years ago, this YouTuber absolutely blew up. Her first video was hitting everyone's homepage on YouTube, and she was getting millions of views. Her name is Janelle Eliana, and she had a snake, and she lives in her van. Well, Janelle recently bought a house, and I mean, this is interesting to me because she probably has a pretty good amount of money from YouTube. So let's see what she said about her van life journey.
I know a lot of you guys are wondering what about this
Sorry, snake warning.
Toyota RV project. And obviously my intention was to finish building that and transition from the blue van to the RV. But as I mentioned in my last RV video, there was a lot prohibiting me from finishing that project, which included where I was working on it. I was working on the RV project at my sister's house, and her neighbors were not very happy with me. So moving into the RV was not an option at that time because it did not have walls and I had nowhere that I could work on it. So when I got back to California, I impulsively bought the 1978 Dodge Sportsman Chinook, that green RV that you saw in my last video, and that was a grave mistake. But at the time, I thought it was a great idea because it was already fully stocked and I thought it was super cute, but it broke down on the way home.
Oh my God, dude. I know this has happened to somebody before. It's happened to me. There is nothing worse than saving up a bunch of money to buy a vehicle, Craigslist, whether it's a car, a van, or anything, and you drive it off the lot and it breaks down within the first couple of days. Oh my God. It is like the most heartbreaking experience, especially when you buy from a seller and you pay in cash. It's not a dealership or anything. I wonder if there's people that like have sold all of their possessions. They go out to buy their van and then that, you know? Oh my God.
The Dodge Sportsman Chinook was my final straw. And at that point I was like, okay, maybe buying property is not a bad idea. Alfredo and I spent a good chunk of last year without a stable place to live. And for a good chunk of time, I didn't even have a car. And that's not to say that I wasn't in a financial position to purchase a new car or rent an apartment. Before I actually started the house hunting process, I tried to find an apartment to rent as well as a workshop to continue working on my RV. And after crunching the numbers, the cost of rent for both of those things was more than the mortgage for my house.
Van life, and I said some people can make it into the long years. I think van life is something that you do for like 1 to 5 years. You explore it, you travel, you see beautiful things, you learn new experiences, you get life experience. I mean, you go through some really difficult shit, you know, and you get through it. It's very character building. But I feel like when you start to wane on the van life and you're like, all right, I don't know if this is for me, people should be made aware that like you're not forced to live the van life forever. You should maybe start working your way into a new situation. And like, that's okay.
Scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore.
Buying converted vans. Trust me, I know, because I live in one. I've met so many people who buy, convert, and sell vans for a living, and the prices they sell these for are ripping you guys off.
Ooh, wait, really good point here. Just a person said, who knows, maybe some feel obligated to stay in the van if they put so much money into it. That's a really good point.
Example, I have seen someone buy a van for $10,000, put $10,000 into it, and then sell it for $70,000. I understand that like time is money and you put labor into that, but oh my God. That's why it's so annoying, because really the only way to affordably do van life anymore is to build it yourself. And I understand not everybody can do it. So now the market is just too saturated for anybody to actually live in their vehicles, and it's so stupid. I'll actually be selling my van soon, and it's going to be for a reasonable price considering the type of van it is and how much money I put into it. But Ugh, it just irks me when I see a $180,000 van that I know they only put $20,000 into.
Ooh, so she's saying that van life, converted vans, is definitely becoming an industry. Why I quit van life. There it is.
As a whole, it's not like that all the time.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times you're parking at Walmart, or you're kind of stealthing in like an industrial area, or, you know, just recently I spent the night at an abandoned truck stop in Winslow, and you know, it's kind of every once in a while it's a little sketchy.
Yeah, I was looking into this and I found so many videos that were tagged with solo female traveler. Like, I don't know if this is a fetish or a horror movie. Like, what is solo female traveler? I don't know.
You know, that's the reality of van life. I could also tell instantly when I look at someone's Instagram photo.
And maybe it's just not for me.
Someone I don't know, I'm just kind of browsing, you know, a van life hashtag. I could tell immediately who actually lives in their van and who doesn't. It's blatantly obvious who's a weekender and who actually lives in their van full time. If you had smell-o-vision too, you could tell immediately. Because one of the harsh realities of van life is...
Wait. Do you guys think that there's van life influencers that don't even live in the van? Like, they just go out for like a week or just the weekend, but they're... Oh my God. Would that be cancelable in van life world? I think it is. I feel like it is. That's so bad. That's so bad.
Showers. You don't take them very often. I averaged about 2 showers a month when I was living in this van.
Give us the tea, beard man.
Think about that for a moment. I averaged about 2 showers a month when I was living in this van. And
2 showers a month? I would be praising Jesus when the water hit my body. Were they cold? Did you get a hot shower, beard man? Did you get a hot shower?
And think about that for a moment. It's pretty grimy. A lot of times you're just dirt bagging it, and that's the reality of it. Water is really heavy.
Don't y'all's balls get sweaty after like 48 hours? 72 to 96 hours? Okay. All right. Dude. Somebody I have to emphasize, this was in all lowercase letters. Somebody said I would get a yeast infection and die.
You also got to haul all your own water. So any water that you have on hand, you personally filled up in a jug. I had 3 6-gallon containers.
My depression
so
could
on
never.
average, you know, sometimes I threw some Crystal Geyser gallons in the mix there to just supplement it. But you know, the most water I ever had on hand at any given moment was around 18 gallons. And if you think about that, that's pretty heavy. And you had to have a place to store all that.
Oh my God.
You know, van life, it's a very minimalist lifestyle. I sold pretty much everything I had to get into this. And as a result, now that I have a house, I have no furniture and very little belongings, which being a minimalist is kind of a neat way to live, and it really simplifies things. But
the beard of truth.
And I don't know why, but a lot of people feel it's like an open invitation. If your doors are open, to just pop their head in and be like, oh, hey, you mind if I get a ride, or are you going anywhere? There's been numerous times where I've had to tell people that, no, like, I'm not going anywhere. I won't give you a ride. Like, I'm here for the night. And, you know, some people didn't take too kindly to that. There were...
Okay, wait. Is anyone that does do van life, do you guys ever meet, like, super weirdos? Okay, this is definitely like woman that could never do van life judges van life. Actually, no, because dude, all the cute like glamorized videos I was in. Y'all had me in the first half. You really did. Waking up at Big Sur, my boyfriend with a beard that hasn't been cleaned in a couple days, playing me guitar, a nice lukewarm coffee. I was down for that. Like the organization, the little compact. I'm super into that. I like it.
But you also get a lot of wanted attention. I've met some super cool people from living this lifestyle. People I wouldn't have otherwise met. So I'm with my buddy Kent, and I would say,
don't know that man.
I guess that's a pro and a con. But the con, it can be kind of heavy sometimes. The pro, it's nice. I don't know, that's about all I can say about that. There was one instance in particular that I had to change a radiator out in the middle of the desert, and it was pretty hot that day too.
Oh my God,
so,
like if there was sand too?
That kind of sucked. Although it was an experience, and it's something I'll never forget.
Is this the footage? Is this the actual footage? He glamorized changing a radiator in the desert. That's what I'm talking about. He just talked to us about how that was one of the hardest times in his life, and he put the All right, let's hear from another van lifer. I'm so fascinated by this.
First, let's start off with the less important reasons why I stopped. Number one, the truth is that I got really tired of moving around. Van life is not something that you're parked in one place all the time. You got to constantly move around. From the time that I woke up to the time that I slept, I was constantly moving around. Then you have to look for bathrooms. And then, of course, you have to find a place to sleep. And every single night, I rotated different places. So I kind of got tired of moving around a lot. And I also got tired of using public restrooms and public showers. As soon as I woke up, I got in the driver's seat and I drove to my 24-hour fitness, and that's where I did my showers in the morning.
Okay.
A lot of the times I would go in there and the place used to be dirty and I didn't like the experience I had. So
I don't know if I'm going to sound out of touch for this. When I started going to the gym, I thought at first it was more convenient for me to like take showers at the gym. And then when I was in there, I was just like, I'd be in there 2 days in a row and I would see like the same, like something dirty that was there the day before. And I was like, I can't fucking do this. I can't do it. Like, I was like, I'm going to get athlete's foot. Taking a shower a couple times a week at the gym, but I just can't imagine doing it like every single day because you're sharing a lot of, I feel like you're sharing a lot of bacteria there.
And now let's get on to the main reason why I quit van life.
Okay.
So the main reason is that my business has been in decline for the last 2 years. And more recently, within the last, I would say 7 to 8 months, has become a lot worse. To be quite honest with you, I really enjoyed my time living inside of this little van. It's a very cozy little place to be inside of. I have my fridge, I have my heater, I have my bed/couch. Rambo's pretty comfortable. We have our water, we have our food. I mean, it's pretty much a small, tiny little 35 square foot home. Really, it is. And when you're inside of here, you forget about the world. You forget that it exists out there. I had a really great time here, and I had great, amazing plans.
The way he's talking about it, he's saying, yeah, and it's fucking over now. It's over, y'all.
Travel the entire United States, as well as Mexico down south, and Canada up north. But I have to feed myself. My business is very important, and YouTube, unfortunately, doesn't pay the... So in case you're curious about what I do for a living, I run an Amazon FBA business. I started this business approximately 5-6 years ago.
The perfect job for being on the road.
I produce my own products in China, have them delivered to the United States, as well as Canada and Europe. So I sell in all 3 Amazon marketplaces. And I've been pretty...
Dude, that is actually fascinating to me that he's quitting van life, because being an Amazon FBA seller, that seems like the perfect job to work out of the van, make some money, start saving up for like another property. Like, it just seems perfect. And I mean, I guess maybe that's what he did.
Successful for the last couple of years. But what's been going on lately is that there have been a lot of sellers on Amazon from abroad. A lot of these sellers are coming abroad from China because for them, it's direct sales into the US and European marketplace. So they ship it directly from their factories and they can sell it a lot cheaper than I can. And shipping for them is a lot cheaper as well.
Oh.
And as a result of that, my business has been in decline.
The dog was really cute. Oh my God, I didn't even notice the dog. Jesus Christ, it's like a fucking statue. Is that a real animal? Oh my God. Ah! Dude, oh my God, I just realized the van lifers might be coming for me.
In life, a woman who decided to be a nomad and it backfired. Now I'm homeless. Being a nomad can be wonderful, it can be beautiful, but in my case, it's been really hard. It's been stressful and it's been tiring. I do my best to post the raw, the honest, and the truth because that's all I know how to be. You know, I wanted this page to be a travel page, and I wanted to travel all over the world and talk about food and drinks and parties and what to do. But instead, I ended up losing everything I had because I invested a lot of money into a lifestyle that turned out not to be as glamorous as I thought it was going to be. Ironically, I've met a lot of other travel influencers who have up to millions of followings, and they're going through it too.
Damn!
A lot of people don't eat, they don't sleep. I mean, what we see online and what we see in real life are two completely different things. Just like this hostel, everything at this hostel was broken. Nothing worked, nothing.
I also thought it was really interesting that she said that she runs into lots of influencers that have millions of followers, but they're like in the same hostels as her, and maybe they're just not publicly talking about struggles. I mean, I guess they might be, because that one guy was like, "You're not ready to eat a peanut butter sandwich every day." I was like, I'm not, Michael. I'm not. I am not.
People advertise false things, and then you get there and you see it, and this is why I'm showing this, so that way people know what they're getting themselves into. I've seen a lot of comments saying, stop saying you're homeless, stop saying it's backfired, stop saying all this stuff.
And you can see her TikTok handle here at the bottom. You can see a couple of the TikTok handles I've shown. I encourage you to actually go take a look at the comments, because there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I tried van life, and they don't tell you how it's just like almost like glamorized homelessness. I don't know. You know, I think the solution to this is I'm going to have to try it for 2 weeks. I'm going to have to go be a van lifer for 2 weeks. I got to try it.
But to be honest, I have to say this stuff, because in order for me to get out of my situation, I have to be 1,000% honest with myself. And being honest with yourself is what sets you free. In a couple of weeks, I won't be homeless anymore, and I claim that. I'm going to figure it out.
Good. Good.
To this day, I still have people coming to my page, bashing me, trying to talk shit like I give a shit. I don't anymore. We're no longer glamorizing anything that's not glamorized anymore. We're telling the truth about real life, about real situations, about what's happening in this world. Fuck these fake ass influencers promoting a lifestyle to people. Fuck all these people online and talk shit about people for going out there and exploring. We are now bringing real reality to social media, because so many people need to see it. So many people need to hear it, because it is the...
I will say, I've been watching some people I know for years talk about some, good morning, here's my, and behind the scenes, it ain't so good. And that's not funny. I just like, I come on this channel all the time and I'm like, hey guys, I have a lot of anxiety today. Give me your energy. Let's get it. I don't know. I think people would feel a lot better too if they didn't feel the need to have to be perfect all the time, but I don't know.
For me, it shows me how many people don't get out, how many people don't experience life, they don't travel, they don't do nothing. They just sit at home all day scrolling, talking shit.
They gentrified living in a car and then realized it's still homelessness. Van life felt like the gentrification of homelessness. It's dangerous out there and people take their kids with them. Living in a car or van seems so hard, especially with no toilet and having to find a safe place to park and sleep. This is interesting too. Yeah, that's because their life is being funded by the people that watch them. It's actually sad how influencers... Dude, okay, actually, that's kind of the point that it's like gonna bother me. There's a lot of people that are living off of the van life lifestyle through like YouTube, TikTok, brand deals, making lots of money as a travel influencer. And then there's people that are like living out of their van and they're not making $10,000 a month off of brand deals and shit like that. And it's different. And then the people that are making 10 grand a month doing this are usually the ones that are getting mad at people that van life didn't work out to because they sold them van life. They're the ones that did it, dude.